Before you listen to this story, I need you to do something small, but meaningful. If you've ever believed that stories can save people, if you've ever stayed up late replaying moments in your head, wondering when everything quietly went wrong, if you've ever loved someone and later realized you didn't truly know them at all, then take 1 second and subscribe to this channel. This is a place for stories that don't rush. Stories that sit with you. Stories that hurt a little, and then hurt more, before they finally tell the truth. Every week, I share real, emotionally raw stories about love, betrayal, family, and the secrets people bury to survive. These aren't fairy tales. These are the kinds of stories people whisper to themselves at 2 a.m. when the house is quiet, and the memories won't let them sleep. So subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because the story you're about to hear isn't entertainment. It's a confession. And once you hear it, you won't forget it. Take a breath. What I'm about to tell you happened on a single night. A night that tore my marriage apart and changed the way I look at trust forever. This is the night my stepson came home drunk and told me the truth his father never had the courage to say. "No," Jake said, his voice cracking as the words fought their way out of his chest. "I'm not lying, Emily." He didn't look at me when he said it. His eyes stayed locked on the floor, as if the truth was too heavy to lift all at once. My heart was pounding so loudly I was sure he could hear it. "Jake," I said softly, trying to keep my voice steady, "you've had a lot to drink. Let's talk about this in the morning." He laughed then. A broken, hollow sound that didn't belong to someone his age. "That's what everyone says," he muttered. "Wait till morning. Sleep it off. Pretend it didn't happen." He finally looked up at me, and the pain in his eyes stole the air from my lungs. "You deserve to know," he said. "And I'm done protecting him." I sat down slowly on the armchair across from him, my hands trembling in my lap. "Protecting who?" I asked, even though some instinct deep inside me already knew the answer. "My dad." The word landed between us like shattered glass. Jake rubbed his face roughly, smearing tears he didn't bother to hide. "He's been cheating on you," he said. "For a long time." The room went completely still. Not the calm kind of quiet. The kind where everything inside you freezes because reality has just shifted. I stared at him, waiting for the words to rearrange themselves into something less cruel. "That's not funny," I whispered. "I'm not joking," he snapped, then immediately softened. "I wish I was. God, I wish I was." My mouth opened, but nothing came out. How? How would you even know that?" I finally managed. Jake swallowed hard. "Because I've seen them together." The world tilted. "Who?" I asked. He hesitated. Just for a second. And that hesitation told me everything. "It's someone you know," he said quietly. A chill crept up my spine. "Is it someone from his office?" I asked. "A client? A coworker?" Jake shook his head slowly. "No," he said. "It's worse than that." I felt sick. "It's the woman who works near your flower shop," he continued. "The one with the red hair. The one Tom says is just friendly." My chest tightened painfully. I knew exactly who he meant. She owned the cafe across the street. I'd waved to her countless times, smiled at her, complimented her pastries. She knew my name. I pressed my hand to my mouth. "No," I whispered. "You're mistaken." "I'm not," Jake said firmly. "I saw them kissing in her car. I saw them holding hands. And once I walked in on them at her apartment." The words crashed over me, each one heavier than the last. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked, my voice breaking. Jake's shoulders sagged. "Because he begged me not to," he said. "He said he'd end it. He said he was confused. He said you wouldn't survive it." Tears streamed down my face now. "And you believed him?" I asked. Jake looked away. "He's my dad," he said. "I wanted to believe he could still be better." That was when I understood something that made my heart ache in a different way. Jake hadn't been distant because of me. He'd been drowning in his father's secrets. "You shouldn't have had to carry this," I said. He shook his head violently. I couldn't watch him lie to you anymore, he said. You're not like the others. The others? I repeated. Jake laughed bitterly. You don't know, do you? Know what? He cheated on my mom too, he said. That's why she left. That's why everything fell apart. The room spun. He promised me he'd never do it again, Jake continued. He promised he'd changed. I felt something inside me crack open.